Welcome to the Anonymous Andrew podcast. Life and the choices we make. The choices other people make. Why we choose to ignore the red flags. Red flags like gaslighting, cheating, addiction, mental illness, and much more. What role do they play in relationships? Follow me each week as we discuss these topics with anonymous guests and experts to hopefully become better humans, resulting in better choices. Like I say, been there, still doing that. Now on to the show. Happy Friday. Anonymous Andrew with you. Yes, another Friday night solo episode. And of course, it's raining out. Seems when I do my solo episodes on the weekends, it seems to be horrible weather. So yes, Friday night. If you've heard the last episode, and I want to thank David for coming on, that was Chipmunk Dave. Obviously Dave is not his name, but Dave did want his voice altered, and using GarageBand, that was the pitch that ultimately ended up making his voice a chipmunk. I hope you were able to understand it. I listened to it the next morning on my way to work, and I thought it was a fantastic job. David had a lot of insight into his past. David didn't mention this, and we didn't bring it up. I was trying to keep some of his past life private, but he did have he studied, let's just say, mental health in his 4-year college and passed that. I do believe he has a master's and a degree which has to do with mental I just don't want to say it, but he has some background, and he worked in that field for a couple of years. So, yeah, he's on to something else these days, but a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience he had. And I met David through a family member, and when he heard my story, he offered to come on. Anyway, during that interview, I dropped something to the audience, to the loyal followers who have listened to every episode. You know, this has been a journey for me, not just since the post-breakup, as the several months after the breakup, I was just a mess. But from the day that I started this podcast, that's when I believe my healing started, the true healing. Of course, time heals, right? It has been 6 months, maybe a little bit after. And I honestly stopped counting. I just know it was last October, so do the math. And it's April, the end of April. So, but I did drop something in the interview, and I did say to the audience that I would expand upon that. I met a woman. Actually, no, I didn't meet a woman, not in person. On the dating app, one of the apps that I was browsing, and like I had mentioned, I signed up out of curiosity. I said I need to, it was more for a distraction. I said that if I'm going to get back out there, I need to, let's just say, look and do some research as to what's going on in the dating. And yeah, research for the podcast, research for myself, I've been on dating apps for the past 10 years, on and off, on and off. That's really where I met the past 3 women in my relationship, in my sobriety. So one would think stay off the dating apps because none of those relationships worked out. But the flip side of that coin is that I don't drink, and I don't go to bars, and I don't go to nightclubs, and I don't hang out where one might meet somebody in the wild. Sure, I go to my meetings and I go to the boardwalk and supermarket. I mean, it's not that I'm isolating. And as you know, I did meet somebody at a social event about a month ago, but that woman is married, and I do not have any updates on that. I'm going to be seeing her this weekend, but I'm taking my own advice and my own lessons that I've learned, and just to keep the distance. But on one of my dating apps, there was a match. And, I said something the other day. I think it was 2 episodes ago. I read you guys the following. To the potential version of you that I fell in love with, you will be missed. To the actual version of you that manipulated me, giving me trust issues, making me question everything, you took a piece of me when you left. And that's okay. You can have it. That person is not welcome here. That version allowed you to use me the way you did. And to you, I say no more. Well, I'm sorry, never again. So, but in that, and by the way, that was Michael Gannay. But in there, it says, I questioned everything, meaning I don't know when I'm going to be able to trust again. I'm not talking about trusting coworkers or friends or in the real world. I'm 63. I've been around the block. I'm talking about trusting, getting into a relationship, opening up, being vulnerable, sharing certain information about myself. It's going to be a problem. So I don't know if I shared this also with you, but I did match with somebody a week prior, and that turned out to be a scam. I think I did mention that. So when this match happened, which was just, what's today, Friday night, it was just last weekend. There was a match. I got a notice. You've been matched. And honestly, I don't remember who texted who first. But she wanted to get off the dating app pretty quickly. I don't remember. I think maybe she might have reached out to me first, right? I said hi or something. I don't remember. But she came back with, hey, listen, I'm not going to be on this dating app very long, so I'd like to exchange phone numbers. Let's do this in the real world. She was trying to come across as if like this dating world online thing just was not her thing, and I get that. There are certain people it's not their cup of tea. But I, of course, question that because one of the first scams, or the flags in the scam, is they tell you they try to get you off the dating app as quickly as possible. The concept of dating apps, while some of them are horrible and atrocious and expensive and a waste of time, a lot of them, there is security on the app. Your identity is hidden. other than your photo and your first name, and even that you don't have to use, there's security there. You can text, you can video chat. Even one of the apps has a free background checker. I don't know how you, I've never used it, but you can check somebody's background. I don't know how you do that without their full name, but it's designed to keep you safe. And I, for both men and women, obviously. So I immediately became suspicious. This person wants to get me off the dating app, and I said no. I'm not giving you my phone number. And she offered me hers, and I said, well, if you give me your number and then I call you, then you have my phone number. Yes, I could use *69 or whatever it is to block my ID, but then we're getting into the playing games, and I don't have time for that. And it's this particular dating app has the video feature where you can video chat within the app. So I suggested that to her. I said, if you truly want to get off the app, I need to know that you are who you say you are. That the picture that you are posting on your profile is you, and you're either not my ex. I didn't really say this to her, but this is what I was thinking. You're not my ex, or you're not some guy from Lithuania trying to scam me, or catfish, or whatever they're doing these days. And that was Friday, I think. Yeah, I guess it was a week ago today. So she said, yeah, you know what? That's very clever of you. I think those were the words she used. Very clever of you. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'd be happy to do a video chat. So we set something up for Saturday night, last Saturday at 7 p.m. I said, okay, 7 p.m. I will call you through the dating app using the video feature, the video chat. 6 p.m. on Saturday, I got a text through the app. It's her. She was cleaning her home and fell and banged herself up pretty badly. So she said to me, listen, I'm pretty banged up. I took a fall. I'm in bed. And she said, honestly, if I get on the video app, I don't want to get up and go put makeup on and do my hair. And she said, I'm not going to go on a video with you looking like shit. That's what she said. So here I am being presented with an excuse not to keep the date on Saturday night, the video date. So I'm thinking, well, there you go. She's not real, and she bailed on me. I guess either I felt that maybe I should give her another chance. I don't remember how it went, but I said, well, no, actually she did. She said, can I get a rain check? And I said, sure. Let's do it tomorrow night, meaning Sunday at 7, same time. And she said, okay. 6:45 or 6:30 on Sunday, I get a text from her. And she said, look, I'm still hurting from yesterday's accident, but I don't want to cancel on you again. She said, so I'm going to come on the video, but I have to tell you that I'm not putting makeup on and I'm not doing my hair. But I want to meet you, and I want you to show you that I'm real. And sure enough, at 7 o'clock, we did have I called her. She didn't answer. She tried to call me. and I didn't hear it ring. So there was almost 5 to like 8 minutes of trying to connect. Now, I don't know if that was the dating app not working properly. It could have been my internet. I do have some firewalls and security features in place. Could have been any number of things. I felt at that point that she was putting enough effort in to make this all could have been a ruse, right? But she wouldn't have known my next step. I thought she was putting enough effort in and being honest and genuine and saying to me, "Look, I'm going to come on even though I look like crap. I'm going to honor our date." And my app did say that I missed a video call. So she called, but it didn't ring. But then, like a minute later, the app said, "Oh, you missed a video call." So there was an actual attempt for us to connect. So the bottom line is I said to her, "Look, let's just FaceTime. Do you have the phone that uses FaceTime?" And she said yes. And I said, "Okay." I took the initiative. At that point, I had felt that remember that gut intuition that we talked about? My intuition told me that this was genuine. So I gave her my number. And she called me on FaceTime, and it came right through. And sure enough, it was her. The woman that I saw on my screen was the exact woman that I saw in the pictures on her profile. And we spoke for at least an hour. I enjoyed that hour with her. I have to tell you that this is new to me. Well, not like brand new, but I've done this before, but I haven't done it in over 3 years, and it was exciting. I was talking to a new woman. And there was laughter, and there was, once we got to see each other, and all that awkwardness or that tense or anxiety of whatever goes into these initial meets. When the dust settled, there was 2 humans talking, and it was fun. And I like her. We said goodnight at some point, and the next day we did a couple of texts, hello, good morning, or good afternoon. I don't remember, but there was texting the next day. So I'm not going to go through each day, but this past week there was a lot of communication. There was a couple of phone calls, another FaceTime call, and several textings. And as a matter of fact, I just finished texting with her a little while ago. We have a date for tomorrow night. So tomorrow night we're getting together. Okay, so I have to be honest with my audience. Excuse me. So in the beginning of my last relationship, I spoke about all these red flags that I missed. There were some small red flags. Actually, I might not even categorize them or characterize them as red flags. They were just things that I guess what they call non-negotiables or deal breakers. Number one, and the first and foremost is that she's a smoker. And what's interesting was that I could hear it in her voice. I didn't find this out until the second FaceTime because she did not smoke that first night on the FaceTime. But the second night, I saw a lighter in her hand and then she lit up. And I said to her, "Oh, you're a smoker." And she said, "Oh, yes." It was almost like, "Oh, yep, I forgot to mention that." And I did not see that in her profile. You know, in the profile, they always, do you drink? Do you smoke? What's your Aries or what's your sign and all that stuff. I have to go back and look and see if she said that she smokes. That's a problem. I'm a former smoker. And I don't know if I want that. She did say to me that she doesn't smoke on a regular basis. She only smokes, and a lot of people will say this, when there's stress or when there's boredom. But my problem is kissing a smoker. Now, I know I'm jumping way ahead because I have made myself a promise, and I've said to you guys, I am not looking for a relationship. I am not looking for sex. I'm simply looking for companionship for this upcoming summer. But at some point, let's say she and I, this date tomorrow night goes well. All right. And I want to see her again. And then a week later, I want to see her. By the way, it isn't. I'm going to get to the second thing that might be a problem. If she smokes on a regular basis, she's going to stink. All right, her clothes are going to stink. Her car's going to stink. Her kissing, her mouth might smell like tobacco or taste like tobacco, and that's going to be a problem. So. But I'm overlooking that at this point because, oh God, this is going to sound bad. She's attractive and she's genuine and she's funny and we laughed and we clicked. Nobody is ever going to find a 100% perfect person. And I know in these days, smoking is way up there as a non-negotiable. And it really is part of my deal. It's like one of my deal breakers, but I have the option to override that for now. If I date her and I go out with her and it becomes a problem, like she lights up or she stinks, I will have no problem turning to her and saying, this is just not going to work for me. Okay, I'm going to get to the second thing. And I might be being a little picky here, but she lives 45 minutes away. Where I live, it's suburbia, but it's a very heavy populated suburbia. So there are a lot of people here, a lot of towns, a lot of highways, a lot of ways to get around. But what does that mean? Traffic. There is virtually no way to go from point A to point B anywhere where I live in 20 minutes. Even going into my own town or going to the next town. Like when I go to one of my 12-step meetings, it's literally, you would say, hey, it's 5-minute drive. It can sometimes take me 15 minutes to get there just because of the lights and I have 2 bridges I have to go over, and one of them is a drawbridge, which, and then there's there's 2 train tracks near me, and, you get to the train track and the gates come down. I'm just giving you examples. It's like, it's just never, you don't just jump in your car and you're like there in 5 minutes. It always takes time to get someplace. My problem is that I work in a city, and she's an hour and 15 minutes from where I work. So let's just say something does develop down the road. For me to get to her place after work, it's going to take me an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and a half with rush hour traffic. That's if I wanted to go spend the evening with her watching TV or having dinner. I'm talking like during the week. So my last relationship, she lived 30 minutes away, which is really not that bad, but even that was hard. And during the week, not on the weekends, it wasn't so difficult. Especially on the weekends, there's no traffic. Or I should say less traffic. So anyway, out of all the things that could go wrong, or all the red flags that I experienced last time, this is nothing compared to what I got last time. However, I haven't met her yet. I haven't sat down with her. Excuse me. I have not. I do know what we're doing tomorrow, but I'm not going to say it. This is Anonymous Andrew, and I'm going to keep some things anonymous until I think they're relevant, and I need it. So, after the date, I can maybe next week tell you about it, but I think up front I'm just going to keep the details out. I just don't need anybody to know where I'm going tomorrow. So, not to mention that, nobody knows where I live anyway, but I'm anyway, here I go. I'm starting to babble, starting to ramble. I just wanted to jump on and tell you guys that I'm going on a date tomorrow night. I finally met somebody, and it's just I'm not nervous. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be finally. I have a female companion for a Saturday night, and whether we just spend an hour or two together or we spend the evening together, it doesn't matter. I have plans tomorrow night with a woman, and if it goes well, I will. You will be I will be open and honest with everybody. I will tell you how it went and what the red flags were, if there are any. I need to be. If you remember the open trailer or the first episode, I said to you guys, I'm an open book. I may hold back some information at certain times, but ultimately you're going to get the full story. And I'm going to leave you with a parting thought. And as I often do, it's too much information, but this part is genuinely, should this lead anywhere, even not a relationship, but let's say we go on 3, 4, 5, 6 dates, and there is a genuine physical attraction to each other and a chemistry, and intimacy is an option. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if I'm ready to have sex. After what I went through with the last relationship, especially at the last weekend that I was with her, you guys know the story. I just don't know if I'm ready for that yet. But I'm jumping way ahead of the gun here, so I know that. But I'm always going to be upfront and honest with you guys. So, okay, as usual, Friday night. This might become a regular, my Friday night ramble, unless of course I have a date. But my Friday nights I seem to be doing solo episodes on Friday night, just rambling. So what do I do on Friday nights after I do my podcast? I climb into bed with my chocolate chip cookies, and I turn on Netflix, and I'm gonna turn in because I have a long day tomorrow. Folks, I made an edit here. Last night I recorded this episode. This morning when I woke up, I received a text message early from this woman that I have the date with tonight. She canceled. I got a text saying that she's not feeling well, that she thinks she picked up some bug at an urgent care center that she had gone to during the week. If you remember last weekend, she had an accident in her home. She went to an urgent care center. And it turned out that she busted her tailbone. And so the text I got this morning told me that she thinks she picked something up at urgent care because she was up all night coughing and not feeling well. Normally, and I should look at this as another red flag. This is like last weekend when she bailed on the first video chat that we had scheduled. So here we are again a week later, and we have a date, and she's supposed to come down, and we were going to spend some time together and get to know each other. And remember, I haven't met this woman yet, and she's canceled on me. So there is no date tonight. I almost felt like not even airing this episode, but as always, I'm keeping everybody up to date and in real time what's going on in my life. This is the stuff that you just can't make this stuff up. It's like this is what's happening. I don't know what to do with this woman. I have trust issues. Why is she telling me the truth? Is she really sick? And of course, if she is, no, I don't want to see her. I don't want to catch whatever she has. Or is it a tactic that she's just not ready to meet? But remember, this is the woman who wanted to get off the dating app quickly and meet or start talking, and almost like she was rushing to get off the dating app. And here I am complying with her wishes and setting up a date because she's like, I don't want to drag this on. I don't want to text for weeks and weeks. She says, let's just get to know each other. And in a way, I get that. Let's go on a date. If there is going to be chemistry, if there's going to be compatibility, let's find out sooner rather than later. But she canceled on me. So trust issues here. I don't know what to believe from her text message. I had an interview today with a gentleman that runs a podcast called Behind the Shades, and it will air in a couple of months, and I will let you know. I also had an interview with somebody from Spain and a podcast called Entwined Hearts. And she was kind enough. I did it about a month or so ago, and it dropped. It's now on her podcast, the episode that she interviewed me on. She was kind enough to share the MP3 file with me and told me that I can post it to my podcast. So I think one of the next episodes you're going to hear is my interview or her interview with me on her podcast. I'm going to rebroadcast it on my platform. So, all right, folks, I just wanted to give you an update. No date tonight. I did ask her, does she think she would be feeling better tomorrow if we could do another, today's Saturday, so tomorrow would be Sunday. If she picked up a bug, let's say whatever, virus, COVID, who knows what she got. I don't think she's going to recover in 24 hours. But we shall see. All right. You just can't make this up. Okay, stay tuned. I will keep you posted. AnonymousAndrew saying, if it feels good, do it. But please, please choose wisely. Ciao.